Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Okay, we from the second group, cross-cultural understanding, gender roles and beliefs. Okay, let's me introduce our team. The first is Ahsan Takwin, and the second Anggun Fitria Saputri, and then Anis Marcella Listiani, and the next Anissa Nikmaturodia, and the last Aufa Amalia Husna. Okay, in this video we are going to discuss about definition of gender roles and beliefs, and then gender roles and beliefs in Indonesia and other countries, and then some issues in gender roles and beliefs, and the next, gender stereotypes in Indonesia and other countries, and the last, gender inequality in Indonesia and other. Okay, the first material, a definition of gender roles and beliefs. The definition of gender roles. Gender roles are based on the different expectations that individuals, groups, and societies have of individuals based on their sex and based on each society's values and beliefs about gender. Gender roles are the product of the interaction between individuals and their environment, and they give individual clues about what sort of behavior is believed to be appropriate for what sex. Appropriate gender roles are defined according to a society's beliefs about differences between the sex. Jadi, yang pertama yaitu definisi dari gender roles. Gender roles sendiri didasarkan pada perbedaan harapan bahwa individu, suatu kelompok, dan masyarakat memiliki individu berdasarkan pada jenis kelamin mereka dan berdasarkan pada nilai-nilai dan kepercayaan masing-masing masyarakat mengenai jenis kelamin. Peran jenis kelamin adalah merupakan sebuah produk dari interaksi antara individu dan lingkungan mereka, dan mereka memberikan isyarat tentang jenis perilaku apa yang diyakini pantas untuk jenis kelamin apa. Kemudian peran gender yang sesuai didefinisikan menurut kepercayaan masyarakat tentang perbedaan antara jenis kelamin. And definition of gender beliefs. In a broad sense, the gender belief system is defined as a set of beliefs and opinions about males and females and about the purported qualities of masculinity and femininity. This belief system includes stereotypical views about men and women and attitudes toward appropriate gender roles, based on assumption that what is not feminine is naturally masculine, and vice versa, and that a person who is either masculine or feminine in one aspect of behavior is similarly masculine and feminine in other aspect of behavior. Dalam arti yang luas, sistem kepercayaan ataupun gender belief merupakan jenis kelamin didefinisikan sebagai serangkaian kepercayaan dan opini tentang pria dan wanita dan tentang sifat bawaan dari kejantanan dan feminim. Sistem kepercayaan ini mencakup pandangan yang stereotip mengenai pria dan wanita dan sikap terhadap peran gender yang pantas, berdasarkan pada asumsi bahwa apa yang tidak feminim adalah selalu maskulin dan sebaliknya, dan bahwa seseorang yang maskulin atau feminim dalam suatu aspek perilaku adalah sama pula maskulin atau feminim dalam aspek-aspek perilaku lainnya.
We are going to discuss about gender roles and belief. Gender roles and belief refer to the general perception of gender roles such as gender-related tasks and power distribution. The social role approach, the predominant approach to understanding gender roles belief, attributes the source of this belief to the different social roles performed by men, and women. In the ideology of traditional and non-traditional roles of male and female in the family, there are some differences between those things as follows. In the traditional roles of males and females, males have the roles to protect family, breadwinner, discipline children, fix things around house. As for females, caregivers, stay home and look after the children. In the non-traditional roles of males and females, males can have the roles to staying at home, to look after children's house duties. Females can also working outside the home, contributing to the income. On the other hand, there is other ideology that related to gender roles and belief. That is masculinity and femininity ideologies as follows. Masculinity ideology. Traditional or idealist masculinity we often define in opposites of femininity. So, for example, in all countries, good men were expected to learn skills or study hard so that they could fulfill this role in the future. With this role as a family provide came to the expectation that a man would be the head of the household and be the ultimate decision maker, with a woman and children deferring to him. Femininity ideology. Values concerning femininity implies the importance of service to one's family, maintaining family honor, and defers to the husband and in-laws. These values translate into commonly expected roles and standards of behavior for people of different age and genders. For example, girls are expected to shoulder much of the burden of household labor. These serve two purposes: helping household run smoothly and training the girl so she has the skills she needs as a wife and mother. After we discuss about gender roles and belief, let's discuss about gender roles and belief in Indonesia and other countries. Indonesia. One of ethnics in Indonesia, Java, convey high influence to the development of gender roles. Kuncharoningrat states that Javanese culture gave a meaning to the relation between husband and wife. A wife then has to show respect towards her husband. In the Javanese terms, there is ngajeni, as the husband is always assumed to be older than his wife. The wife's sphere of interest centers mainly on the household. The husband is the household head, but he mostly has to concern himself with external matters, such as fulfilling the family needs, and usually take a little interest in day-to-day household routine. Men are those who play as managerial and instrumental roles by earning money according to their chosen profession. Men need to be aware that they have responsibility to support the family. They are taught that real men do not cry. They are able to control their soft emotion. It is men's role to be the role model in every part of living. Meanwhile, women play expressive roles, such as taking care of home and emotional life of a family. Women are taught not to fight. Women are believed to not showing their anger or being aggressive in public. Other countries. Besides in Indonesia, there are some application gender roles and belief in some countries as follows. India. Traditionally, in the Indian culture, gender roles in their society are very specific. Women are in charge of taking care of the children, washing, cooking, and cleaning. For a man, they are in charge of providing financial support. Right after the birth of a child, gender expectations start right away. Boys are showered with love and affection and taught to be very outgoing. Young boys receive much better health care and respect lots more than girls are. Even though the majority of Indian men that live in India know that violence against women is illegal, 65% of men believe that a woman deserves to be beaten. Meanwhile, women are usually married young, become mother quickly they are, then burdened by domestic and financial responsibilities. They are frequently starved because women are the last member of the household to eat, and the last to receive medical attention. In India, only 54% of women have an education, as compared to 76% of men. Britain. In Britain, gender roles are not as strict as they are in the Indian cultures. Men are in charge and must protect his family. The women take care of the children. When women were younger, parents raised a ghost to enhance feelings by playing dolls, while boys grow up playing sport, so they become more powerful and stronger. Men tend to be more aggressive, ambitious, and forceful, and very dominant compared to women. Males are expected to lead, provide, and be strong. Males will work for his family, provide, and protect his family. Boys are given guns and play lots of sport when younger, so they can start gaining power, aggressiveness, and leadership. Meanwhile, females are physically smaller and weaker than males. They are known by males in Britain as very vulnerable creatures who need to be protected and cared for. As a result, men believe that a woman needs to be petted and gentle. The female's job is to take care of children and her partner. For a girls, they are little, they are given a baby doll to play with, to enhance maternal and caring feelings. In Britain, men are treated better than women. They do all physical work, while women stay at home and look after the children. If women go to work, but never get paid the same amount of money as the men do. Saudi Arabia. Gender roles are highly practical in Saudi Arabian culture. Men are protected by the law. They are superior in the relationship and can get away with many more things than a woman can. Traditionally, females are excluded from most public decision-making and are expected to obey their fathers, brothers, and husbands. They are considered to be the carrier of a family honor and hence carry greater expectation of social complaints as the particular vulnerable target that need to be protected. Therefore, shyness and modesty are considered positive qualities in a woman. A woman has more authority if she is the eldest member of a household. Women dress code are the niqab typical, and men dress code are conservative dress outside the home. Women take care of the house and children. Women may work outside the home in settings where they do not have contact with unrelated men. For men, there is no restrictions of any work. A man's role in the home is to be the main breadwinner and support the family with the money he brings in.
Some issues in gender roles and belief. There are three main problems that exist in the gender roles and belief. They are The first is gender inequality. Gender inequality is influenced by socially constructed gender roles and stereotypes that have been developed throughout the history. Traditional gender roles were most common prior to the 1960s. This was a time where women took care of the household and the raising of the children, whilst the main priorities work and financial responsibilities. After this time, social roles shifted to an egalitarian approach which favored both men and women equally, dividing roles. Recently, a new traditional gender role system has been favored, which encourages men and women to both equally share and contribute to the household and financial responsibilities. Santa Lucia and Mackay 1016. However, both genders haven't necessarily been given the same opportunities to put this theory into effect. It is evident that both men and women are discriminated against and aren't given equal opportunities in respective aspects of their life. However, there is far more research, more political movement, more media attention, and more focus drawn to the unequal treatment of women. The second is gender stereotypes. A gender stereotype is a generalist view or preconceptions about attributes or characteristics or the roles that are or ought to be possessed by or performed by women and men. A gender stereotype is harmful when it limits women's and men's capacity to develop their personal abilities, pursue their professional career, and make choices about their lives. The problems is harmful gender stereotype and wrongful gender stereotyping are one of the root causes of core discrimination, abuse of violence in multiple areas, and can lead to violations of a wide array of human rights. And the third is gender-based violence. GBV is violence directed against a person because of that person's gender, or violence that affects persons of a particular gender disproportionately. Violence against women is understood as a violation of human rights and a form of discrimination against women, and so means all acts of gender-based violence that result in or are likely to result in physical harm, sexual harm, psychological or economic harm or suffering to women. It can include violence against women, domestic violence against women, men or children living in the same domestic unit. Although women and girls are the main victims of GBV, it also causes severe harm to families and communities.
The next is gender stereotypes in Indonesia and other countries. Gender stereotype is a generalized view or preconception about attributes or characteristics or the roles that are ought to be possessed by or performed by women and men. A gender stereotype is harmful when it limits women's and men's capacity to develop their personal abilities, pursue their personal careers, and make choices about their lives. Jadi, stereotip gender ini adalah pandangan atau prasangka umum tentang atribut atau karakteristik atau peran yang harus dimiliki atau dilakukan oleh perempuan dan laki-laki. Stereotip gender berbahaya jika membatasi kapasitas perempuan dan laki-laki untuk mengembangkan kemampuan pribadi mereka, mengejar karir profesional, dan membuat pilihan tentang kehidupan mereka. The first example is the gender stereotypes in Indonesia. In Indonesia, in the household sphere, men are still considered to be in charge and responsible as providers and women who take care of the household. Jadi kalau di Indonesia itu dalam lingkup rumah tangga, laki-laki itu masih dianggap bertugas dan bertanggung jawab sebagai pemberi nafkah dan perempuan yang mengurus rumah tangga. Tidak ada yang salah, memang, mengingat bekerja mengurus rumah tangga juga bukan sebuah pekerjaan yang mudah. Tetapi, stereotip ini membuat posisi perempuan dalam ranah domestik seringkali dianggap lebih rendah dibanding laki-laki yang bekerja di luar rumah untuk mencari nafkah. Kebanyakan masyarakat menilai laki-laki yang bekerja di luar lebih punya nilai karena interaksinya lebih besar dibanding sang istri yang bekerja sebagai ibu rumah tangga. Perempuan mengambil peran juga dalam tanggung jawab rumah tangga. Sayangnya, dalam budaya masyarakat kita itu masih menganggap perempuan juga harus bertanggung jawab penuh terhadap tugas rumah tangganya. Kan padahal kalau dalam rumah tangga itu sebenarnya dua-duanya, kalau bisa dua-duanya itu sama-sama mengambil peran. Tapi kalau di Indonesia itu pokok yang ngurusin rumah itu istri. Karena jika laki-laki turut serta dalam mengerjakan pekerjaan rumah tangga, misalnya ngurus anak atau mencuci, maka kebanyakan masyarakat itu memandang sebelah mata. Jadi kalau di sini tuh umumnya laki-laki yang bekerja dan perempuan yang di rumah, mengurusi rumah. The second gender stereotype in Indonesia is women think and make decisions based on their heart, while men think and make decisions based on their logic. Stereotip yang kedua itu perempuan berpikir dan membuat keputusan berdasarkan hati mereka, sedangkan laki-laki berpikir dan membuat keputusan berdasarkan logika mereka. Stereotip bahwa perempuan berpikir dan mengambil keputusan berdasarkan hati, sedangkan laki-laki berdasarkan logika juga masih melekat dalam dunia pekerjaan. Perempuan tidak bisa menjadi pemimpin yang baik karena dianggap tak mampu berpikir dengan logika dan fakta. Perempuan juga dinilai tidak mampu mengambil keputusan tegas karena stigma yang melekat terhadap perempuan itu lemah, labil, dan emosian. Padahal, tidak sedikit jumlah perempuan yang sukses menjadi pemimpin dan berhasil membangun bisnis hingga besar. Bahkan perempuan kuat yang melawan arus pendobrak kebiasaan. The third gender stereotype in Indonesia is victims of sexual violence are still often seen as the ones to blame. Jadi kalau di Indonesia itu korban kekerasan seksual masih kerap dianggap sebagai pihak yang disalahkan. Misal ada kejadian seperti itu, pasti nanti pada nanya, kenapa baru lapor sekarang? Kenapa kok nggak kemarin-kemarin dari lapor? Padahal hal seperti itu tuh bukan sesuatu yang mudah untuk diungkapkan. Bisa saja setelah terjadi seperti itu membuat dia trauma atau apa yang bisa mengganggu psikis mereka. Dikutip dari BBC Indonesia, sebagian besar penyintas kekerasan seksual enggan melaporkan kasus yang dialaminya ke polisi. Hasil survei daring pada tahun 2016 yang dilakukan oleh Lentera Sintas Indonesia, Magdalene.co dan Change.org menunjukkan 93% penyintas kasus pemerkosaan tidak melaporkan kasus mereka ke kepolisian. Hasil survei juga menunjukkan hanya 1% dari 25,214 responden menyebutkan kasusnya dituntaskan secara hukum. Sementara lainnya menyatakan kasus mereka dipetisikan, pelaku dibebaskan, dan sejumlah kondisi yang dinilai tak memihak korban. Selain itu tuh pasti nanti kalau ada kejadian kayak gini langsung muncul pertanyaan lagi, langsung disalahkan ke korbannya lagi. Salah siapa pakai baju terbuka? Salah siapa bajunya terlalu ketat? Kan kita yang mau berpakaian, terserah kita mau memakai pakaian seperti apa. Selama kita nyaman berpakaian seperti itu kan tidak masalah. Yang dipermasalahkan kenapa pelaku sampai bisa melakukan hal seperti itu kepada korban, padahal kan dia juga harus menahan hawa nafsunya agar tidak terjadi seperti itu. Tapi hal-hal seperti ini masih kerap sekali terjadi di masyarakat Indonesia yang menyalahkan korban ketika terjadi pelecehan seksual. The last gender stereotypes in Indonesia is women who came home late at night are considered naughty women. Di Indonesia itu perempuan yang pulang malam itu dianggap perempuan yang nakal. Di sini tuh sering sekali seperti itu. Misalnya kalau perempuan tuh nggak boleh pulang malam. Terus kalau laki-laki boleh pulang malam gitu, kan pasti langsung muncul pertanyaan seperti itu. Padahal belum tentu kita pulang malam karena kita nakal di luar. Padahal kita, kan pasti ada alasan-alasan tertentu kenapa perempuan itu sampai pulang malam. Misalnya mereka mungkin habis pulang kerja, atau mereka ada urusan organisasi, atau mungkin ada urusan lain yang lebih penting, kan kita tidak tahu. Dan masyarakat biasanya tuh langsung menjudge kalau cewek yang pulang malam itu adalah perempuan yang nakal gitu. Padahal kan kalau disamaratakan, laki-laki aja loh boleh pulang malam, kenapa perempuan gak harus dibatasi? Ya mungkin gak apa-apa buat jaga diri, selama perempuan tersebut bisa menjaga diri kan gak masalah. Tapi kalau hal yang seperti itu masih sering terjadi sampai saat ini. The next example of gender stereotypes is in Britannia. In Britannia, bravery for boys and tenderness for girls. Jadi kalau di Inggris itu ditetapkan ciri kepribadian stereotip untuk anak laki-laki dan perempuan, seperti keberanian itu untuk anak laki-laki dan kelembutan itu untuk anak perempuan. And then new mothers should prioritize their looks or home cleanliness over their emotional health. Jadi kalau di sana itu ibu baru harus memprioritaskan penampilan atau kebersihan rumah daripada kesehatan emosional mereka. Jadi mau sekacau apapun mereka, mau seemosi apapun mereka harus tetap berpenampilan bagus, seperti tidak ada apa-apa. Pokoknya yang harus lebih diurus itu penampilan mereka daripada mental health mereka. The third example in Britannia is mock men for being bad at stereotypically feminine tasks. Jadi kalau di sana itu pria diejek karena dianggap buruk dalam tugas yang syarat stereotip itu feminim, seperti menyedot debu, mencuci pakaian, atau mengasuh anak. Jadi kalau di sana itu mengerjakan pekerjaan yang identik dengan perempuan kayak bersih-bersih rumah tadi, itu tuh di sana mereka dianggap, yang pria itu dianggap buruk dalam melakukan pekerjaan tersebut. Hasilnya tidak serapi yang wanita lakukan mungkin. Nah, kalau di sana seperti itu. And the last example of gender stereotypes is in India. In India, the ideal woman is described as submissive, controlled by men, pure and likes to sacrifice. Jadi kalau di India itu perempuan yang ideal digambarkan sebagai seorang yang submisif, dikontrol oleh laki, suci dan senang berkorban. Perempuan dianggap buruk ketika ia bersikap individualis, agresif secara seksual, keberat-beratan, dan tidak mau berkorban. Perempuan sejak dulu dilihat sebagai milik kaum pria. Hanya pria yang dianggap sebagai makhluk yang punya bijaksana. Perempuan dianggap tidak bijaksana. Karena itu, orang menganggap perempuan harus diawasi oleh pria. Dan hal ini tuh masih terlihat sampai sekarang. Kalau di India itu perempuan tidak diizinkan membangun identitasnya sendiri. Perempuan selalu dilihat sebagai anak atau istri dari seorang pria. Jadi otonom mereka diambil. Ada alasan lain mengapa perempuan mengalami diskriminasi dalam masyarakat. Dalam tradisi Hindu di India, orang tua yang mengawinkan seorang anak perempuan harus membayar utang cukup banyak. Keluarga pengantin perempuan akan kehilangan muka kalau tidak mampu menyediakan uang ini. Karena itu, bagi banyak keluarga, anak perempuan dilihat sebagai beban keuangan. Terutama di negara bagian Punjab dan Haryana, itu juga sering terjadi pengguguran kandungan. Jika diketahui bahwa anak yang dikandung adalah perempuan. Pengguguran kandungan seperti ini sebenarnya sudah dilarang, tapi masih tetap terjadi secara luas. The second gender stereotypes in India is boys' education takes precedence over girls' education. Jadi kalau di India itu pendidikan untuk anak laki-laki lebih diutamakan daripada anak perempuan. Jadi misal dalam satu keluarga itu mempunyai banyak anak, yang lebih diutamakan itu pendidikan yang laki-laki, bukan yang perempuan. And the third example is women who are single are seen as picky, morally loose, or stubborn individual. Jadi kalau di India itu para wanita lajang sering distereotipkan sebagai individu yang pemilih, longgar secara moral, atau dianggap keras kepala. Wanita lajang di India memiliki lebih banyak kebebasan untuk mendapatkan pendidikan, mengejar karir mereka, dan menjalani hidup dengan cara mereka sendiri. Kebebasan ini bagi wanita India berarti bebas dari tekanan keluarga yang menganggap kehidupan pernikahan sebagai salah satu bentuk kepatuhan anak perempuan dalam kebanyakan budaya India.
Okay, my name is Elfa Manausna. Let me know about gender inequality in Indonesia and other countries. The definition of gender inequality. Gender inequality means disparity between women and men in different social, economical, and political, cultural, and legal aspects. This problem is simply known as gender biasness, which in simple terms means the gender stratification of making difference a male and female. And this is an example of a case in several countries. The first is Indonesia. In Indonesia, there are many cases recorded that women are often made the object of violence by irresponsible men. This act of violence occurs because there is still perception of power and superiority in which men place themselves higher than women. An incident that is often encountered in the neighborhood is that a wife does not obey her husband's orders will be said to be rebellious until there is violence in the household. And the second is breeding. However, despite this progress, gender inequality in the United States continues to persist in many forms, including the disparity in women's political representation and participation, occupational segregation, and the unequal distribution of household labor. The third is India. Gender inequality has been a social issue in India for centuries. That in many parts of India, the birth of a girl child is not welcome is a known fact. It is a known fact too that discrimination starts from even before the girl child is born, and sometimes she is killed as a fetus, and if she manages to see the light of day, she is killed as an infant, which makes up the highly skewed child-sex ratio, where for every 1,000 boys in India, there are only 908 girls. Okay, we are from second club. We suppose enough here our explanation, and we beg your pardon if you found some mistake from us. And last we say you wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.